All right, so today we're diving into something that I think a lot of people are curious about,
Mm-hmm.
and that's making some extra money, specifically using those computer skills that you might already have.
Right.
You've shared some information with us about creating a YouTube podcast, actually, that's focused on earning $10,000 a year by editing videos online.
Okay. Interesting.
So the goal of our deep dive today is to kind of pull apart this guide and see how realistic it actually is and what steps someone would need to take to actually make this happen.
I like it. So we're not just looking at the dream, we're looking at the path, the roadmap to actually get there.
Exactly. So the material that we have, it really breaks down the process into, I don't know, maybe 5 or 6 key areas,
Mm.
starting with what is your content even going to be about,
Mm.
all the way through to actually, getting paid and then growing that income.
Mm.
And it's presented as a step-by-step guide, which is really nice because it gives us a clear path to kind of go down together.
Yeah, and I think what's really cool about this is that even if you're not interested in this specific niche, like video editing and teaching people how to make money with it, the core principles here, like identifying a skill, building a portfolio, finding clients online, those are valuable no matter what you're trying to do to make money online.
It's a blueprint.
It's a blueprint, exactly.
And what really stands out to me about this particular guide is it goes beyond just learn these technical skills and you'll make money, and really emphasizes both getting started, which is often a huge hurdle, but then even more importantly, I think, getting noticed in a very crowded online space.
Yeah, visibility. How do you cut through the noise and show off what you can do?
It's like a marketing strategy.
Exactly, exactly.
So, all right, let's dive into the guide then. The first thing it really highlights is a super crucial element is planning the content, right, for this YouTube podcast. And it suggests that every episode should start with a really strong hook, something to grab people's attention immediately. Like, did you know you can make $10,000 a year editing videos from your couch?
I mean, come on, who wouldn't want to do that? That's a great hook.
It gets you thinking, right?
Absolutely, absolutely.
So then it lays out a potential structure for these podcast episodes. And the first step, of course, is, well, you got to learn how to edit videos.
Makes sense.
So it even recommends specific tools, both free and paid. So it mentions free options like DaVinci Resolve,
Yeah.
which is pretty amazing for being free, and then also some paid options like Adobe Premiere Pro, which is the industry standard in many ways, or Final Cut Pro, which is very popular with Mac users. And then it goes on to suggest some resources for actually learning how to use this software.
Which is great because it's meeting people where they are. Not everyone can afford, a monthly subscription.
Exactly. You don't need to invest a lot of money to get started.
Right.
So it recommends, free YouTube tutorials. Obviously, YouTube's great for that. Skillshare, Udemy, these online learning platforms that have courses on everything.
Yeah, and a lot of times you can even find really good deals on those platforms, too.
Oh, yeah. There's always a sale going on somewhere.
Always a sale.
All right, so you're learning the skills. The next really crucial step, according to this guide, is building a portfolio.
Of course, you got to show what you can do.
Exactly. It's one thing to say, oh, I'm learning. It's another to actually have some tangible proof.
Proof is in the pudding, right?
Exactly. So the guide suggests creating sample videos, maybe editing existing content that you find online, or even doing some free work for friends and family just to get some practice and have something to show.
I love that. Start with your network.
Yeah. And then to actually display this work, it recommends building a simple portfolio website. Could be just one page, or using platforms like Behance or Vimeo, which are really designed for creatives to showcase their work.
That makes sense. So you're building your visual resume, basically.
Exactly. It's all about proof.
Proof.
So then, okay, you have the skills, you have a portfolio. How do you actually find clients?
The million-dollar question, right?
Right. Well, the guide actually lists a bunch of online platforms that you can explore. It mentions, the big ones like Fiverr, Upwork, Freelancer. These are all freelance marketplaces where people post jobs,
Yeah.
and you can bid on them.
So it's kind of like a bidding war in some cases?
It can be, yeah, it can be competitive.
Yeah.
But it also suggests, and I think this is really smart, using social media to your advantage. Platforms like Instagram and TikTok can be really powerful because they're so visually focused.
Yeah, you can show off your style really quickly.
Exactly. A 15-second clip can say a lot.
Absolutely.
And it emphasizes something else that's really important. Learning how to pitch your services effectively and write really compelling proposals.
Right, because you're essentially selling yourself, right?
Yeah, it's a sales skill for sure.
Absolutely.
Okay, so let's talk about the money. The guide gives some good advice on setting your rates, suggesting different models like charging per hour, per project, or even offering package deals if someone wants to, hire you for a bunch of videos.
So it gives you flexibility
Exactly. It's up to you to figure out what works best for you.
and your clients.
Yeah. And it even gives a concrete example, which I think is really helpful. It says, imagine editing 10 videos a month and charging $100 per video. That's $1,000 a month.
Which gets you to that $10,000 a year goal.
Exactly. And it makes it feel much more achievable, right?
Manageable, yeah.
So thinking beyond those first few clients, the guy also talks about scaling your income over time.
Okay, how do you grow?
How do you grow? So it mentions things like upselling additional services. Maybe you start with just basic editing, but then you offer color grading or motion graphics as extra services.
So you're becoming more valuable to your existing clients.
Exactly. And it stresses the importance of building long-term relationships with those clients because repeat business is so much easier than always having to find new clients.
It's like the 80-20 rule, right? 80% of your business comes from 20% of your clients.
Something like that. Yeah, it's all about building those strong connections.
Makes sense.
Okay, so let's move on to the next big piece, which is getting your content discovered. Because you could have the best YouTube podcast in the world, but if nobody sees it, it doesn't really matter.
It's the tree falling in the forest, right? Does it make a sound if nobody hears it?
Exactly. So the guide focuses on creating what it calls viral-worthy titles and thumbnails.
Ooh, the clickbait.
A little bit of clickbait, yeah. But, it's all about grabbing attention.
It is.
So it gives some examples like how I made $10,000 editing videos online, step-by-step guide, or earn 10,000 a year editing videos from home, beginner-friendly.
Those are good. They're clear, they're concise, they tell you exactly what you're going to get.
And they're targeting the right audience.
Yeah.
And for thumbnails, it suggests using bold colors, maybe a picture of you looking super excited, and then big text like 10,000 a year or start today.
It's all about that visual appeal.
It's all about standing out.
Yeah.
Okay, and then it talks about YouTube SEO, which is search engine optimization. And that's all about making sure your content actually shows up when people search for it.
Right, so people can find you.
Exactly. It recommends using tools like TubeBuddy or vidIQ to do keyword research.
So you're finding out what people are actually searching for.
Exactly. And then incorporating those keywords into your titles, your descriptions, and your tags.
So YouTube knows what your video is about and can show it to the right people.
Exactly. And it stresses the importance of having a detailed video description, not just a couple of sentences, but actually including timestamps so people can jump around, links to resources you mentioned, and a clear call to action like subscribe to my channel.
So you're not just relying on YouTube's algorithm, you're also helping people find you.
Right. You're making it as easy as possible.
Yeah.
And then it goes beyond YouTube and talks about promotion on other platforms like TikTok, Instagram Reels, Twitter, LinkedIn, all these places where your potential audience might be hanging out.
Yeah, you got to go where the people are.
Exactly. It suggests sharing snippets or teasers of your YouTube videos on those platforms to drive traffic back to your main channel.
Smart.
It also mentions collaborating with other creators.
Oh, that's huge. Cross-promotion.
Yeah. Tap into each other's audiences.
Exactly.
And engaging with your audience, responding to comments, all that good stuff.
Building community.
Building community. And if you have an email list, it suggests sending out newsletters to announce new episodes.
So you're hitting every possible avenue.
Exactly. All right, so now let's get to the really fun part. Monetization.
Cha-ching.
Cha-ching. So the guide outlines a few ways to potentially earn money from this YouTube podcast.
Okay, let's hear it.
The first one is YouTube ads. Once you reach a certain number of subscribers and watch hours, you can start running ads on your videos, and you get a share of the revenue.
So that's like the classic YouTube monetization model.
It is, but it takes time to build up to that. Then there's affiliate marketing. This is where you recommend products or services that are relevant to your audience, and if they make a purchase through your unique link, you get a commission.
So you have to build trust with your audience, right?
Absolutely. You have to be genuine in your recommendations.
For sure.
And then the guide mentions something really interesting, which is using the podcast itself as a platform to attract direct clients for your own video editing services.
So you're teaching people how to do it, and then you're also offering to do it for them.
Exactly. It's a really smart way to position yourself as an expert.
I like that.
All right? And then the final piece of the puzzle is analyzing your performance.
You got to know what's working and what's not.
Exactly. The guide emphasizes the importance of using YouTube analytics to track things like views, watch time, audience engagement, and then using that data to experiment and refine your content.
So you're constantly learning and improving.
Exactly. Okay, so after taking this deep dive into this guide, I have to say it seems like a really solid roadmap for someone who wants to make money online with video editing.
Yeah, I agree. It's very detailed and action-oriented.
It's not a get-rich-quick scheme, but it's definitely achievable if you're willing to put in the work.
Right, consistent effort is key.
And what's really great is that it goes beyond just the technical skills and really dives into the marketing and business side of things.
Which is crucial for success in any online venture.
Absolutely. So for you, the listener, the question is, what's one concrete action you can take today to start exploring this path? Maybe it's downloading DaVinci Resolve and watching a tutorial, or brainstorming some video ideas for your portfolio.
Or maybe just making a list of all the skills you already have that you could potentially leverage.
That's a great idea.
Because you might be surprised at what you already bring to the table.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
The first step is always the hardest, but once you take it, the rest will start to fall into place.
And remember, the guide mentions that $10,000 is just the beginning.
That's right. The possibilities are really endless if you're willing to learn, adapt, and keep growing.
And have fun along the way.
Absolutely. That's the most important part.
All right, that's it for our deep dive today. Thanks for joining us.
Until next time.